Welcome to the class of database management system. So today we are going to discuss the basic concepts of database management system. Like we are supposed to discuss file-based system versus DBMS system. So what is the objective behind the same? First, we are supposed to have a look at the same. You will learn basics about DBMS. In addition, you will be able to efficiently handle the data at the end of this lecture, because you will learn such techniques in between that in the end you will be able to maintain the data efficiently. So what is basically file-based data management system? If I am talking about file-based data management system, so if you remember in the previous days we were using file-based management system when database management system was not there in the picture. So we were using file-based data management system in those times. So like it was a huge concept, or I can say there was a lot of manpower that was required. In addition, there are a lot of resources that are also required for the same. In addition, like a lot of manual efforts were required in order to handle the file based management system. So that is why we require some system, or I can say software system, that can handle each and everything like instantly. So instead of requiring so much manpower and so much waiting time was there, so it was a need to develop DBMS system, and we are supposed to switch to the DBMS system. So let's discuss about very previously file based management system, because like we are supposed to learn what was there before DBMS system, so that if there are certain like disadvantages, or I can say there are certain problems with that system, what are those, how we could overcome the same, and how it move us, or I can say it compel us to move to a new system. Because every system, like if, in reality, if I am saying anything or any device that we are going to use, it could be having certain limited functionality, because every device or every real world object that I am going to use, it is having its own positive points and negative points as well. So if I am only concerned about the negative points, then I could not use that particular device to to even its limited functionality as well. But in order to find its negativity, first I have to use the same, so that if I encounter some problems, then I could mention the same, so that if a new system related to the same system is developed in the future, then those like I can say problems could be seen, and those problems could be removed from the new system. And in addition, if we are moving to the new system, again there could be some positive points, some negative points, and we are supposed to deal with the negative points in the new version of that again system. So same is the case here. It is the long process. Same is the case in file based management system and DBMS system. So if we are talking about file based management system, there are certain problems that were associated with the same, and that lead us to move to the or switch to the new DBMS system. So same is the case here. Let's discuss what was file based management system in detail. So if I am talking about file based management system, it could be a system in which we are using files to store the data, in which we are using files to use the data. So what are various files that we are using that could like it could allow the user to specify the various attributes that could be there. So let's say like I am enrolled in a course about relational database, and I was asked to research the advantage of the file based approach versus relational database. So I find it easier to understand relational database, but having difficulty understanding file based system. So why? Because file based system are the like they could store files on the Windows hierarchical system, meaning that text files stored under folders and directories. So this is the thing that is related to the file based system. So if I am referring to a flat file database, that allow the user to specify the data attributes like its columns, its data types for one table at a time, storing those attributes independently of an application. And database and Paradox were good examples of this kind of database in MS-DOS environment. And the original FileMaker was a good Mac operating system example. So a relational database takes the flight flat file approach several logical steps further, allowing the user to specify information about multiple tables and relationship between those tables, and often allowing much more declarative control over what rules the data in those tables must obey. So there are certain differences between the two, and we are supposed to discuss the same. So let's discuss in detail about file-based database management system. So it is a database that is stored in a file that is called a flat file. So like we are supposed to store records in the file. So records follow a uniform format, and there are no structures that could be defined for indexing or recognizing relationship between records. So the file is very simple. A flat file can be a plain text file. Like plain text mean to say, like plain text is a loose term for data that represent only characters of readable material, but not its graphical representation nor other objects. So it may also include a limited number of white space characters that affect simple arrangement of text, for example like spaces, line breaks. Next is binary file. If I am talking about binary file, as the name implies, it could be in the form of digital data like 0, 1. So it is a computer file that is not a text file. The term binary mean to say meaning non-text file. So many binary file formats contain parts that can be interpreted as text. For example, some computer document files containing formatted text, such as older Microsoft Word document. So relationships can be inferred from the data in the database, but the database format itself does not make those relationships explicit. So the term has generally implied a small database, but very large database can also be flat. So what is the overview behind the same? So plain text files usually contain one record per line, and there are different conventions for depicting data. So in comma separated values, that is CSV files, or delimiter separated values, that is DSV files, fields can be separated by delimiters such as comma or tab. So in other cases, each field may have a fixed length. Short values may be padded with space characters. Extra formatting may be needed to avoid delimiter collision. So using delimiters incurs some overhead in locating them every time they are processed, like unlike fixed width formatting, so which may have performance implications. So however, use of character delimiters like commas, it is also a root form of data compression, which may assist overall performance by reducing data volume. So especially for data transmission purposes. Now what are basically data transmission? Mean to say it is the transfer and reception of data over a point to point or point to multi-point communication channels. For example, like copper wires, optical fibers, wireless communication channels, storage media, and computer buses. So the use of character delimiters, which includes the length component, that is declarative notation, it is comparatively rare, but vastly reduces the overhead associated with locating the extent of each field. So examples of flat files include etc., password, etc., group, or Unix-like operating systems. Another example of the flat file is name and address list, which will have various fields like name, address, and phone number. So a list of names, addresses, and phone numbers written by hand on a sheet of paper is a file-based database. So this can also be done with any typewriter or word processor. A spreadsheet or a text editor program may be used to implement a file-based database, which may then be printed or used online for improved search capabilities. So what is the history behind the same? What is the history behind the same? So there are file-based systems that are first attempt of the computerization of the manual bookkeeping system. We are supposed to keep the books manually instead of keeping them in the computerized system. Next is retrieval of data was possible only by sequential reading. Now what does sequential reading means? If there is a sequence, then we are supposed to read the same. Otherwise, we can miss, like there could be integrity problem. So updating and deleting the existing record was almost impossible. So the only way to delete sequential file records is to create a new file which does not contain them. The only way to update records in the sequential file is to create a new file which contains the updated records. Now we are supposed to deal with the disadvantages of file-based system. So what are various disadvantages of file-based system? So the first concept is data redundancy. So what is data redundancy? The same data might be stored in different places. Same data. Redundant mean to say like redundant data, like replication of the data. So the same data might be stored in different places. Next is poor data control, because there is no hierarchy that is being followed in file-based management system. So there was a poor data control, like redundant data might be slightly different. Mean to say there is no control of the data that is followed by a particular hierarchy. Like in DBMS system, there is a hierarchy that is being followed. Like there could be administrator, and administrator could be having various managers. Managers could be having sub-managers, and sub-managers could be having various users. So in that manner, it is arranged in the hierarchy. But if we are talking about file-based system, there is a no control, or there is a no hierarchy that is being followed. So that is why it is leading to the poor data control management. So redundant data might be slightly different. So like if the redundant data is there, like duplication is there, then like what to do in that case? Like we can't control the same. Like if one file is containing same data and there is some other file in which same data is being stored, so that is what poor data control management. Next is inability to easily manipulate the data. Now we cannot easily manipulate the data, because when we are dealing with a file based system, like we are supposed to fetch the files manually, and we are supposed to update the records. We are supposed to update the records, like we are supposed to add new data, we are supposed to delete existing record, we are supposed to update the new record or already given record. It was very difficult to do the handle manipulation operation in file based system. So it was a tedious and error prone activity to modify the files by hand. So same is the case that is given here. Next is cryptic workflow. Cryptic means to say we are supposed to convert some message into a secret code or scrambled message. So cryptic workflows, that is accessing the files, could take excessive programming efforts, and it was too difficult for real users. Because cryptic workflows, we are supposed to deal with the techniques that could be used for crypting. Next is like why we are supposed to switch to the new system, that is basically a database management system. Because I already told you the disadvantages of file-based management system. It was very huge, it was very complex, it was very tedious, and it required a lot of efforts, manpower. In addition, a lot of poor control was there. So that is why it leads us to switch to the DBMS system. Now, why we are supposed to use DBMS system? There are certain points that are associated with the same. Have a look at the same one by one, like data independence and efficient access. The data is independent, like physical data independence, logical data independence. So there is no need to dependent on any other entity for fetching the data. So each entity is represented their own data, and there is no dependencies that are being there. So because data is centralized and there are no connection of dependencies between the entities that could be there. So that is why it is leading to the data independence. And efficient access mean to say it could be available anytime, anywhere. Like in a fraction of second, I can process a certain query. Like if I want to fetch records from the customer table, then I can just put a query or write a query, select star from customer. All the records that are there in the customer table, that would be displayed to me, because it is very efficient. Performance wise, it is very good. Next is reduced application development time. Now, if we are supposed to develop software like DBMS, then it is comparatively taking less time to develop the same. Next is data integrity and security. Data integrity, as I told you earlier, like proper control of the data is there, and there is no chances to so that the data integrity could be hacked, or I can say data integrity could be violated. Because if data integrity is there, only then we are supposed to manage the queries efficiently. Otherwise, if I am following the file-based management system, in that data integrity is very poor, because there are certain files that are there, and I have to search. Like if I am supposed to run a particular transaction, and in order to run the transaction, I have to look for 3 files. So it would not be able for me to have so much time at my disposal, so that I can look at all the 3 files, and I am supposed to locate those 3 files. So it is not very easy for me to do the same. But if I am talking about DBMS, then it is very easy for me to maintain the data integrity, and in addition, we are supposed to deal with the security as well. So there are security measures that could be provided in DBMS. Why? Because like centralized database management system, so that no other entities or departments could exchange the information with each other. So that is why centralized control is there. If I want to gain access over or control over some type of information in the database management system, then it could be done only through various privileges that are given to me, so that I can create my request so that a particular hierarchy could be followed, and after the approval of my request from the higher authorities, my request will be granted and I am able to use the database in that manner. So that is why security measures are there. So next is uniform data administration. Uniform data administration means to say there is an administrator who is handling all the activities or and whole the activities, and in addition he is coordinating all the activities that are taking place in the database management system of any organization. Next is concurrent access, mean to say at the same time a lot of users, multiple users are using the database, or multiple users are accessing the database at the same time. So that is why it is concurrent access. And recovery from crashes is also possible in DBMS system, like failure, power failure, or there are some crashes in the system. Then it could be able for us. It is able, like we are able to do the deal with the problems that might arise due to natural disaster or anything like that. So next is what is basically database management system. So if we are talking about database management system, it is a collection of programs that enables the user to create and maintain a database. For example, like it is concerned with defining the database, constructing the database, manipulating the database, and sharing the database. So what is basically DBMS? It is the general purpose software system, because it is concerned with defining the database. What is meaning of the defining? Defining means to say we are supposed to find the store in that particular table. So these are the things that we are supposed to keep in mind when we are dealing with defining the database. Next is constructing. What does constructing mean? That is how to store the particular entities in the database. It is concerned with the storage procedure of the database. So like the database is the process of storing the data on the some storage medium that is controlled by DBMS. In addition, we are supposed to deal with the manipulation operation. So what is manipulation? We are supposed to add something, we are supposed to update something, we are supposed to delete something. So all these operations can be taken care of in the manipulation operation. Next is sharing the database. We can allow like database allow multiple users and programs to access the database simultaneously. So files could be shared among various users, so that can have a concurrent access to the database at the same time. So this is all about database definition. What is basically database? It is the collection of programs that enables the user to create and maintain a database. And these are 4 terms that are associated with the database management system, that is defining, constructing, manipulating, and sharing. In addition, other important functions that are provided by DBMS, it could include protecting the database, like security, and maintaining it over a long period of time. Protection includes system and security protection. So large typical database may have life cycle of many years. So the DBMS must be able to maintain the database system by allowing the system to develop as requirements changes over time. So as a requirement, like 5 years ago, what was the database, and 5 years after now, like I am telling you the simple example. Nowadays we are dealing with data, and data. Huge amount of data is required. Like we are having mobile devices, we are having laptops, we are having gadgets, we are having various other things at our disposal. So we are always dealing with the data. Every information is concerned with data. Like a child is born and its database is created at the time of his birth, like his birth details, in addition to whatever the activities he is going to perform from the age, from the day since he is born. So same is the case with data, but in earlier days it was not the case. Like we are supposed to deal with the data at such crucial level, but nowadays data is very crucial and it is very important concept, and we are dealing with data in our day-to-day concepts. Like I am teaching to you. I am also concerned with data, and you are fetching something from me that is also concerned with data. So we are dealing with data nowadays. So that is why huge data is required. So after 5 years, there could be more requirements or more changes could be required to a database that could be dealt with. So that is why DBMS concept is ever evolving. So this is the case that is mentioned here. That is, it may have a life cycle of many years. Like if I am going to build a database for an organization, and organization is prevalent, like it is ever existing. So like there could be certain cases in which the older databases of that organization is required, but new database versions of the organization have evolved over the time period. So in order to deal with the older systems, we must maintain database in an organization. So that is why an organization is ever evolving, and its processes are changing with the course of time. Its requirements are also changing with the course of time. So next is, what are the various benefits of DBMS? So DBMS, like we are having various benefits that are concerned with DBMS. First one is, we are supposed to deal with reduction in redundancy. So what is data redundancy? That is, same data is repeated over and again in many files. So we are supposed to deal with the same, because in that manner it could slow the performance of the system. So we are supposed to deal with the data redundancy term here. Next is reduction in inconsistency. So what is inconsistency? Like if the database is consistent before the implementation of the transaction, then it must be consistent after the performance of that particular transaction. So what does inconsistency mean here? Like if I am supposed to deal with a transaction, that could involve 3 steps. Now if like in between, after the first step or after the second step, there could be some power failure. So it could lead my database into an inconsistent state. Why? Because like I am supposed to transfer amount from A account to B, and after the first process, like from A account amount is deducted, but in B account amount is not updated, and in between there is a power failure. So that could lead the system to be into the inconsistent state. So that is the scene that is minimized in the DBMS system, because there are recovery systems that are also available, so that from where the system started, like from where the system stopped doing the transaction, it will start the transaction from that step where it was stopped. So in that way, DBMS is leading to the progress in case of the inconsistency. Next is sharing of data. Now we can share the data in DBMS, but that was missing in file-based management system. So there are certain standards that are being followed in DBMS system, and there are no standards that are being followed in file-based management system. Like how we are supposed to define the schema, how we are supposed to construct, how we are supposed to perform manipulation operations. So there are certain standards that are associated with the DBMS. Next is improvement of the data security. Like if there are certain data breaches, then how to handle the same. And in addition, security is provided so that no unauthorized user can have a control over the data by maintaining the centralized system. Next is integrity. Maintenance of integrity is already there, because we are dealing with DBMS system here. Next, it is having better interaction with the users, because there are 3 to 4 steps that are associated with each and every transaction, and users can easily learn after performing first, after having their interaction with the first, like they could be easily learn DBMS transactions, or they could be easily know how to operate the database. Because like if they are dealing with the ATM, so there are 2 to 3 steps that are concerned with ATM. So if a user might face problem in its first instance, but he is not going to repeat the same mistake in the second instance. So with the, like can say, experience, it could be easy for the user to operate the same. Next is efficient system. What is efficient system? Mean to say quick responses are there. Like at any instant of time, I will be fetching any amount of data that is required from the database. So by inquiring, like by putting certain queries in the database, I can fetch certain type of database with the in a quick manner. Next is, what is the purpose of database management system? So we are supposed to deal with the purpose of database management system here. So database management systems were developed to handle the various difficulties of typical file processing system that are supported by conventional operating systems. So what are those? Like data redundancy, inconsistency, that we have already discussed in DBMS system. So same data is repeated over and again, and it is leading to the problems in the database because huge data will be there and it is difficult to find appropriate data in the database. Inconsistencies, like there could be no crashes, like if there are certain crashes in the system, like in file based system, then no recovery systems are available in that. Difficulty in accessing data, and as I told you earlier, if I'm supposed to access data from 2 or more files, then it is difficult to deal with the same because it requires huge power, huge manpower, and huge time is required, and huge time will be wasted in doing the same. Data isolation. Why data isolation is there? Because multiple files exist, multiple formats exist. There is no particular fixed structure that is being used for file-based management system. In addition, integrity problems are there. Integrity problems mean to say, like, if I am supposed to fetch first file and second file all together, then it is not possible for me to do all the things in like easily. Like if I'm supposed to maintain the integrity, it is not possible for me to maintain that same in the file-based management system. That is atomicity of the updates. Now, what is atomicity of the updates? As I told you earlier, in the inconsistency system, like if there is a transaction A and there is a transaction B, transactions are getting performed, like amount is deducted from A and amount is added to B, and there could be certain problems that could be dealt with, like partial completion of the transaction, fully completion of the transaction, abortion of the transaction, like it could be abort, like no further steps could be processed due to some error. In addition, like atomicity is concerned with, if you are supposed to start the transaction, then you will be completing all the steps in the transaction, whatever the problem might be there. Because if you leave the system in between, then it could lead to the problems. So atomicity is concerned with, either you are not supposed to start the transaction, but if you are beginning with your transaction or execution, then it must be completed. All the steps in that execution must be completed. So next is concurrent access by multiple users. Many users can access the database at same time, but it was missing in file-based system. Security problems have been reduced in DBMS system. So what are the various components of database management system? There are various components like people, hardware, software, and data. So what is basically data? What is hardware? What is software? And what is data? So what is data? Data is any raw data. It could be any characters, it could be any numbers, it could be special symbols. So data stored in the database include numerical data, including whole numbers, floating point numbers, non-numeric data, characters, date, logical values could be there. If I'm talking about hardware of the system can range from the network to of a computer. So it includes various storage devices like input and output devices. Software, like we are supposed to deal with MS Access, SQL Server. So software of a DBMS include DBMS, operating system, network software, application programs. Next is users. So users are of three types. Like three types of users are there. Application programmers that can develop the applications. Like if I'm dealing with a DBMS, then it is also an application to me that I am developing the same. Next is end users who are using the application, that is the database from a terminal using a query language. DBA, who is solely responsible for managing all the activities like construction, maintenance, and design of the database. Now, what is the difference between file versus database management system? That is, applications must stage large data sets between main memory and secondary storage. For example, buffering, page-oriented access, 32-bit addressing. Next is special code for different queries. Next, must protect data from inconsistencies due to multiple concurrent users, crash recovery, security, and access control. Now, what is the purpose of database system? So there are certain problems that are dealt with file-based system. So what are those? Data redundancy and inconsistency. So what is basically data redundancy and inconsistency? Formats. That is why it is inconsistent. Next is difficulty in accessing the data. So what is the term here? We are supposed to write a new program to carry out each new task. Data isolation, that is multiple files and format that exist. Now integrity problem, it could be concerned with the two things, like there could be integrity constraints that could be there, so that we can minimize the integrity problem. Like account balance could be greater than 0, become buried in a program code rather than being stated clearly. And it is hard to add new constraints or change existing ones in the file-based system. Next is concurrent access by multiple users, that was totally missing in file-based system. Concurrent access needed for the performance. Why? Because uncontrolled concurrent access can lead to inconsistencies. For example, two people reading a balance and updating it at the same time. So it could lead to failures. Next is atomicity of the updates. Like I told you earlier, there could be a partially committed, abort, or start the transaction. There are certain points that are associated with atomicity. I will discuss the same in the chapter number 2, that is concurrency. So there could be failures that may leave this database in an inconsistent state with partial updates carried out. For example, transfer of funds from one account to another should either be complete or it could not happen at all, as I told you earlier. Next is security problems, like hard to provide user access to some but not at all data. So next is there are various types of databases that could be there. It could be a single user, like it could support one user at a time. Next is desktop, that is single user database running on the personal computer. Multi-user, that is support multiple users at the same time. Work group related to a like department. So it is a multi-user database that support a small group of users or a single department. Next is enterprise, like multi-user database that support a large group of users or an entire organization. So database could be classified by locations. It could be centralized, it could be distributed. If I am talking about centralized, then it could support data that is located at the single site. Next is distributed, that is support distributed data that is distributed across several sites. Now if I am talking about centralized database management system, centralized management system, in that like a particular hierarchy is followed. There could be a DBA, and DBA is having various subordinates. Subordinates it having various sub-subordinates. Sub-subordinates could be having various users. Now, if user want to have a access over certain type amount of data, then he has to go through the hierarchy in order to have a control over the data. So like it is the centralized support of the data that is available in the single place in the organization. But if I am talking about distributed mean to say, instead of locating it at the single place, data is distributed among different departments that might exist in the organization. Let's say there are 4 departments in the organization. So data is available to all the 4 departments, and they might exchange information with each other, and they can proceed with the activities of the database. Next is various languages that are supported in DBMS system. It is a data definition language, data manipulation language. So these are 2 main languages that are there. Now, if I am talking about data definition language, it is concerned with schema, how we are supposed to define the data types, what type of data could be there, what is the size of the data that could be there. So this is dealing with the data definition language. Next is manipulation language, like it is concerned with the updation, how to add, how to delete, how to update operations in the database. Next is storage definition language. It is concerned with how we can store the data. It is in the MBs, and what kind of files could be used to store the data. Next is view definition language. As the name implies, view, it is concerned with the presentation. It is concerned with the pictorial representation, how the database could look like. So that is concerned with the same. So first we are supposed to have a look at data definition language. So what is basically data definition language? As we specify a database schema by set of definitions that are expressed by special language called data definition language. So it is basically used to create the database, to delete the database and its objects. So these commands are mainly used by DBA during the building and removal phases of the database project. So there are certain commands that are associated with DDL, like alter, drop, truncate, comment, and rename. Next is data manipulation language. So what is there in data manipulation language? Have a look at the same. That is the language for accessing and manipulating the data that is organized by appropriate data model. So it is concerned with retrieval of information that is stored in the database, insertion of new information into the database, deletion of the information that is already existing in the database, modification of the information that is stored in the database. So there are certain operations that are associated with manipulation language like add, delete, update. So there are certain operations that are associated with the same. So there are two classes of languages, that is procedural language and non-procedural language. As the name implies, procedural language, like we are dealing with the what data is required and how we are supposed to get that data. There are procedures if we are supposed to fill data into the database, how we are supposed to fill that database and how to avail that database. Non-procedural, as the name implies, it is not following any kind of procedures. So what data is required, that is mentioned there without specifying how to get the data. What is DBA? So DBA is coordinating all the activities of the database system, like he is the administrator. So he's controlling all the activities, he is coordinating all the operations in the database. So the database admin has a good understanding of the organization information resources and their needs. Like its duties include schema definition, storage structure, schema and physical organization modification, granting user authority to access the database, specifying integrity constraints, and acting as a liaison with users, monitoring performance and responding to the changes in the requirement. So these are the roles of the database administrator that we are supposed to deal with. Like schema definition, we are supposed to construct a database, and we are supposed to define how the structure would look like. Like we are supposed to deal with the data types, physical appearance of the data. Storage structure, how we are going to store the data in database. Like data types, what would be the data types, what would be the size of the data types. Next is how we can physically store the data and how we are supposed to modify the same if there are any changes that might arise. Next is how to provide rights, various rights, so that some people can access the database. Next is we are supposed to specify the integrity constraints, like there could be constraints so that they could not affect the integrity of the database. Like if the account balance is greater than 50, only then transaction will be performed. Next is monitoring the performance, like it is concerning with the efficiency of the system. Next is various types of users that could exist in the database. Various types of users that exist in the database. So users are differentiated by the way they expect to interact with the system. So there could be application programmers that interact with the system through DML calls. There could be specialized users that could write specialized database applications that do not fit into the traditional data processing frameworks. Next is sophisticated users, that is form requests in the database query language. Naive users, that is native users, invoke one of the permanent application programs that have been written previously. So there are certain advantages of DBMS system. Let's have a look at the same. First is data independence. As I told you earlier, programs should not ideally be exposed to the details of the data representation and the storage. So there could be a data independence among all the entities that exist in the database. Next is efficient data access. So a DBMS uses several powerful functions to store and retrieve data efficiently. And integrity and security, that is, it could enforce integrity constraints to get a kind of protection against prohibited access to data. So what are various advantages of the database that we are supposed to deal with? Like data administration, when any user shares the data, centralizing the administration of the data can offer significant improvement, because it is a single point of contact and centrally data is located at the one location. So there are various coordinating activities that are performed by the administrator. Next is concurrent access and crash recovery. Like if there are some crashes in the system that might occur while we are performing any kind of transaction, then it could recover from that crashes easily, because we are dealing with the concurrent access at the same time. So a DBMS schedules concurrent access to the data in such a manner that users can think of the data as being accessed by only one user at a time. So DBMS also protect users from the effects of the system failures. So in addition, there are reduced application development time. So DBMS includes several important functions that are common to many applications that are dealing with accessing data in the database. So in conjunction with the high level interfaces to the data, it could facilitate quick application development. So there are certain disadvantages of database management system. Have a look at the same. So what are various disadvantages of DBMS system? Complexity, because like everything, like every new version of the system, like you are using mobile phone, if you are switching to a new mobile device, there could be certain complexity that you might have to deal with. Like there could be low space, low memory available, or like camera quality is not that good. If the camera quality is good, other features could be compromised, because nothing is perfect in this world. So we are supposed to deal with the complexities. So same is the case with DBMS here. So there are certain complexity issues that we are supposed to deal with. Next is size. There is a size problem that we are supposed to deal with in DBMS system. So there are certain limitations on the size that are also available, and we are supposed to deal with the same. Next is there are certain technical experts that are required for dealing with the DBMS system, like because DBMS system is developed by application programmers. So in order to operate the same, experts are required, because if there arises any problems in the system, then technical experts could be available uh, immediately, so that they can handle the system in a quick manner. Because like next is cost, because we are switching to the file based system to the DBMS system. So file based system was cheaper, but there are certain disadvantages that are also associated with the same. Now we are supposed to deal with the cost of DBMS system, because there could be developers that are charging, administrators that are developing that are charging, managers that could be charging. So there are certain types of cost that could be associated with the development system. Next is additional hardware cost, like networking things are required, network interfaces are required, systems are required, software systems are required, computer systems are required, more servers are required. So there are certain hardware costs that could be related to the system. Performance monitoring and maintenance. So we are supposed to deal with the monitoring and maintenance issues as well, because in file-based system it was not the case. We are supposed to monitor. So there is proper control hierarchy that is there, and we are supposed to deal with the same. In addition, we are supposed to deal with the maintenance as well, because if we are not dealing with the maintenance, then it could lead to the problems in future. Next is higher impact of failure. Why higher impact of failure? Because it is dependent on the software system, and software system is like if there are certain crashes that could be there. So but there are systems like we can deal with the failures as well. There are crashes, like there are recovery systems that are also available if we there are failures as well. Next is centralization. Now centralization, like the same program at a time by many users, sometimes lead to the loss of some data. Next is limited statistical capabilities. That is, it cannot perform sophisticated calculations, and in addition, there are security issues that could be dealt with. So these are all the disadvantages of DBMS system that we have to encounter when we are dealing with the same. So this is the summary of today's lecture. What we have discussed, just have a look at the same. Like we have deal with the data is raw facts or information is the result of processing data, so that we can reveal its true meaning. Next is like to implement and manage a database, we are supposed to use our DBMS system. And database design defines the database structure, like schema, construction, sharing of the data, manipulation of the data. Next is a well-designed database facilitates data management and generates accurate and valuable information. In addition, a poorly designed database can lead to bad decision making, and bad decision making can lead to the failure of an organization. Next is like databases were preceded by the file systems. because previously we were dealing with the file system. So there are certain disadvantages of the file system that lead us to move to the database system. So there are certain limitations of the file-based system that could include like it require extensive programming, system administration complex and difficult. In addition, making changes to existing structure is very difficult. Security features are likely to be inadequate, and independent files tends to contain redundant data. And last is DBMS were developed to address file-based systems weaknesses. So this is all about my today's lecture. If you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me any question. Just go through all the slides that have been discussed so far. This is the summary of all the slides that have been discussed. So there is a reference book that is available in the college library, a book by Korth. It is available in the college library. You can get it issued from the library and have a look at the same. And today's MCQ, 10 questions are given, and look at the same 10 questions. And each question is having 4 choices. You are supposed to take any one answer that is correct. And at the end of the lecture, you are supposed to submit me the 10 answers. So these are the 10 questions. Have a look at the same. These are the 10 questions. Have a look at the same. So this was all about my today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.